Okay, now we will design a state diagram, okay, to recognize even number of zero and odd number of ones. Okay, so based on this table, transition table, so we will design a state diagram. So there are five, okay, there are five state, okay, in this problem. So at Q naught, okay, so at Q naught, so we set this state as an initial state, okay, and then from Q naught, okay, so Q naught will read value 0, okay, and then maintain this value 0, and then move right to move to Q1, okay, from Q naught read 0, okay, move right to Q1. So Q naught will go to Q1, okay, based on input or based on value 0, and then we do not change this alphabet 0, and then we will move right, okay, and then from Q naught, okay, so we read 1, so we will move to Q3. So Q3, so we move Q3 here, okay, so we move Q3, okay, from Q naught to Q3, okay, once Q naught read value 1, okay, so read 1 and then move right, okay. So now we put a label, okay, for each state, okay, at Q naught, okay, even number of 0 and even number of 1, okay, at Q naught read 0, okay, read 0 will affect to number of 0, okay, so even will change to, okay, odd even, okay, just okay, at Q naught even number of 0, okay, will change to odd number of 0 once we read symbol 0 on tape, okay. At Q naught, okay, even once we read symbol 1s will affect to number of 1s, okay, so even okay, will change to even odd because 1s is odd. Okay, next at Q1, okay, at Q1, so we read 0. We read 0, we will move to Q naught. Okay, at Q1, we read 0, we will move to Q naught. At Q1, so we will go to Q naught. Okay, once we read 0, okay, and then at Q1, we read 1, we will move to Q2. Okay, we read 1, okay, and then we will go to Q2. So next at Q2, we read 0, we will move to Q3. Okay, from Q2 go to Q3 once we read 0. And then at Q2 we read 1, okay, we will go back to Q1. So we read 1, okay. Okay, next is at Q3. At Q3, okay, even number of 0, odd number of 1s. Okay, so at Q3, once we read 0, we will move to Q2. Okay, at Q3, we will move to Q2 once we read 0. At Q3, we read 1, we will go back to Q0. Okay. At Q3, okay, once we read blank symbol on tape, meaning that we finish read all symbol, okay, we just finish read all alphabet, and then we read blank symbol on tapes, so we will move to final state. So from Q2 we will move to final states once we read blank symbol. So and then we move left. So this is our state diagram that can determine, okay, even number of 0 and even number of 0 and odd number of 1s. So we can test this input, okay, this string, okay, to this state diagram. So we can test this input, okay, into this state diagram. So input is a 0 1 1 0 1. So based on this input, okay, we can check, okay, whether this input can be accept or reject. So we can go to step, okay. So first we read 0, okay. We read 0, we'll move to Q1, and then we read 1. We read 1, we'll go to Q2, and then read 0, we'll go to read another 1, we'll go back to Q1, and then read 0, okay, read 0, will go to Q1, and then last we read 1, okay, we read 1, we'll go to Q3, and then at Q3, okay, we read blank symbol. So once we read blank symbol, so this will go to final state. So means that this string, okay, contain even number of 0 and odd number of 1. So this string can be recognized by this Turing machine, this state diagram for Turing machine diagram. So we can check, we can test next input. Okay, next input is 0 1 0 0 1. So next input is 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, so first 0, so at Q0, so read, okay, first alphabet is 0, so this will move to Q1, and then read once will move to Q2, and then next 0 move to Q3, and then next is 0 will go back to Q2 and then read 1, okay, will go to Q1, and then at Q1, okay, there is no more alphabet, and then at Q1, so our symbol on tape now is a blank symbol. So there is no blank symbol at Q1 that can move to another state. So this is will halt, okay, at Q1. So this string will reject, okay. So this Turing machine diagram reject input 01001 because in this string there is no even number of 1 and no odd number of 1. There is no even number of 0 and no odd number of 1 in this string. So that's why this string is rejected by this machine.